In 1968, a Chicago restaurateur named Sal Benedetti committed an act he would carry like a stone in his chest for the rest of his life. He spat in Muhammad Ali's food. Not once, not by accident, 3 separate times across 3 separate weeks. And Ali knew. Every single time he knew. Still, he returned, sat at the same table, ordered the same dish, smiled the same easy smile. What followed did not merely alter one man's conscience, it reshaped a neighborhood, and the truth stayed buried until 2016, when, at Ali's funeral, an 89-year-old man rose slowly to his feet and confessed. Chicago, 1968. America was fracturing under the weight of the Vietnam War. Ali had been stripped of his heavyweight crown for refusing induction into the draft. To some, he was a moral titan. To others, a defiant traitor. Sal Benedetti stood firmly in that second camp. He owned Benedetti's, an Italian institution on the South Side, brick oven blazing, 3 generations of guarded recipes, a haunt for aldermen, businessmen, and celebrities. Sal had built it from nothing. 18-hour shifts, 30 relentless years. He was proud, hard-edged, patriotic in a way that Ali's anti-war stance felt like a personal affront. His nephew Tommy, 20 years old, had been drafted in 1967, sent to Vietnam. The letters came weekly, bright, hopeful notes about fellow soldiers, about suffocating heat, about craving his mother's cooking. Then, in March of '68, silence. Tommy was killed in an ambush outside Saigon. Grief hollowed Sal out, but grief needs an outlet, and he found one. He should be there instead of Tommy, Sal would mutter, strong, famous, untouchable. The resentment metastasized. Every glimpse of Ali on television felt like salt in a wound. Then, one Tuesday evening in September, the door of Benedetti's opened. Ali walked in. There was no mistaking him, the posture, the eyes, the gravitational presence. He was casually dressed, accompanied by 2 friends, scanning the room like any other patron. Sal's first impulse was to eject him. Pride restrained him. Curiosity lingered. Ali was seated near the window. He charmed the waitress, joked about the menu, ordered the spaghetti carbonara, the house specialty.
Sal made a decision. He would cook it himself. In the kitchen, he prepared it flawlessly, pasta al dente, sauce velvety and rich. Then hatred surged. He leaned over the plate and spat into it, stirred it until no trace remained. He delivered it personally, smiling. "Our specialty," he said. Ali looked at the dish, then at Sal. Their eyes met. Something flickered there. Recognition? Understanding? Sal never found the word. "Thank you," Ali said softly. "It looks delicious." He ate every bite, complimented the meal, left a generous tip, walked out smiling. Sal felt hollow. Not guilty, not yet, just hollow. The following Tuesday, Ali returned. Same table, same companions, same order. Sal's fury reignited. He repeated the act, this time with more venom. "You again," Sal forced cheerfully. "You must love the carbonara." "Best in Chicago," Ali replied. "I'll tell everyone." He finished it all, left an even larger tip. By the 3rd Tuesday, something shifted. When the order came in, Sal stared at the ticket. 3 weeks, same man, same plate. This could not be coincidence. He prepared the dish again, but as he leaned in to defile it, his hand trembled. The rage was there, yet something else crept in. Shame, fatigue. He couldn't do it. Tears surprised him. He carried the untouched plate out and instead of retreating, pulled up a chair. "Why do you keep coming back?" he asked, voice gravelly. Ali met his gaze, calm, unflinching. "Because the food is good, and because I want to talk to you." Sal swallowed. "I know what you've been doing," Ali continued. "You spit in it the first 2 times. I could taste it." The words struck like a clean punch. "Then why come back?" Sal whispered. "Because I wanted you to feel bad enough to stop. When you feel bad, you can change." Sal trembled. "How did you know it was me?" "Your eyes," Ali said. "You looked at me like you wanted me dead, but you also looked scared." The dam broke. Sal confessed through sobs. Twice. "Not today." Ali listened, then gently said, "I asked about you, about your nephew." Sal froze. "Tommy?" "I'm sorry," Ali said, truly. "You should have been there," Sal muttered, but the venom had drained away. "Maybe," Ali answered, "but 2 deaths don't make one meaningful." They spoke of belief, of courage, of war, of fear that Tommy might have died for nothing. "He didn't," Ali said. "He died believing he was protecting people he loved. That belief matters. But don't dishonor him by hating me. Honor him by stopping more deaths." Silence enveloped the table.
"I violated you," Sal whispered. "Yes," Ali agreed, "but you're not evil, you're grieving." That was the revelation. Ali rose eventually. "Use this place to bring people together," he said. "Feed the hungry. Forget politics." "Will you come back?" Sal asked. "If you want me to?" "I do. I trust you," Ali replied. And from that evening, Benedetti's changed. It became neutral ground, black and white, pro-war and anti-war, everyone welcome. Sal began offering free meals to families who had lost loved ones, regardless of ideology. He marched in protests, not from bitterness, but from conviction that fewer uncles should bury nephews. Ali returned often. They became friends, real ones. Sal never told a soul. Shame sealed his lips. Decades passed. Parkinson's slowed Ali. Age bent Sal. On June 3, 2016, Ali died. Sal, now 89, wept not with anger, but with affection. He traveled to Louisville despite failing health. At the memorial, after athletes and dignitaries spoke, an elderly man approached the microphone. "My name is Sal Benedetti," he began, "and I spat in Muhammad Ali's food." Gasps rippled through the arena. He told the story, the hatred, the confession, the mercy. "I spat in his food," Sal said, voice breaking. "He let me violate him, and he loved me anyway. He kept my secret for 48 years. Silence flooded the hall. "He could have destroyed me," Sal said. "Instead, he transformed me." Sal died 3 months later. In his will, he requested a plaque at his restaurant bearing Ali's words. "Use this place to bring people together instead of keeping them apart." Beneath it, Sal added his own. "He ate my hate. He gave me grace. He changed my life. He saved my soul." The story traveled far. Some recoiled at Sal's cruelty. Others marveled at Ali's restraint, but all agreed on one truth. Greatness is not measured solely in championships. It is measured in the capacity to absorb hatred and return love, to see anguish beneath anger, to choose redemption over retribution. The story is not about a man spitting in a plate. It is about another man eating it anyway, about seeing beyond the insult to the wound, about choosing mercy. That is what made Muhammad Ali your greatest, not the battles he won in the ring, but the hearts he conquered outside it.
But the story does not end at the funeral. It lingers. It settles into the quiet spaces where pride once lived. After the memorial, reporters circled Sal, notebooks poised, cameras blinking. They wanted outrage, scandal, a final blemish on a legend. Instead, they found an old man trembling with gratitude. "He protected me," Sal said simply. "For nearly half a century, he carried my shame so I wouldn't have to." That confession reframed everything. Ali's silence had not been weakness, it had been deliberate restraint, a moral calculus few possess. Back in Chicago, the plaque at Benedetti's began drawing visitors, not tourists chasing notoriety, but ordinary people, teachers, veterans, students, clergy. They would read the inscription quietly. Some would bow their heads, some would wipe their eyes. The restaurant became more than a dining room, it became a testament. Tables once divided by politics now hosted improbable conversations. A Vietnam veteran might sit across from a former anti-war protester. They would share bread, speak cautiously at first, then honestly. Sal would watch from the corner booth, older now, softer, the old fury gone, replaced by something humbler. He understood something he hadn't in 1968. Hatred is loud. It demands spectacle. It seeks punishment. Grace is quieter, but it endures. Ali never mentioned the incident publicly, not in interviews, not in speeches, not even in private anecdotes among friends. The humiliation he absorbed remained his alone. That silence was not accidental. It was intentional mercy. Because exposure would have crushed Sal's livelihood, destroyed his name, shamed his family. Ali chose preservation over vengeance. Years after Sal's passing, customers still asked about the plaque. Staff would recount the story carefully, reverently. It had become lore, a parable wrapped in reality. Some listeners struggled with it. Why didn't he press charges, they would ask. Why didn't he call him out? Because Ali understood something elemental. Punishment can coerce behavior, but compassion can transform a soul. Transformation is slower, harder, riskier. It requires absorbing injury without immediately retaliating. It demands an almost supernatural composure. Ali had that composure. He saw not merely a man committing a disgusting act, but a grieving uncle unraveling under grief's weight. He tasted the bitterness and recognized its origin, pain. That recognition altered 2 lives. Sal's final months were quiet. He visited the restaurant less frequently, his steps uncertain. But whenever he did, he would touch the plaque lightly, as if in silent thanks. On the anniversary of Ali's death, a small bouquet would appear beneath it. No card, no signature, just flowers. Regular patrons knew who left them. The legacy of that September evening in 1968 rippled outward in ways neither man could have predicted. Community leaders cited it during reconciliation efforts. Clergy referenced it in sermons. Parents told it to children learning about forgiveness. It became less about spit and more about spirit, the audacity to respond to humiliation with humanity. In an age that rewards retaliation, the story feels almost implausible, yet it persists precisely because it contradicts instinct.
Instinct says strike back. Instinct says expose. Instinct says shame. Ali chose something rarer. He chose to redeem. And that choice reverberates still. The measure of a person is revealed not when they are applauded, but when they are affronted. Not when they are celebrated, but when they are slighted. Ali was affronted in the most intimate way, and he answered with composure, with patience, with a quiet, disarming benevolence. That is why the story endures, not because it is sensational, but because it is instructive. It reminds us that behind many acts of cruelty lies unresolved sorrow, that confronting pain with empathy can disarm it, that sometimes the most radical act is not resistance, but mercy. In the end, a plate of pasta became a crucible. One man brought hatred to the table. The other brought grace. Only one of those proved contagious.